Hello, everyone. I am happy you are here today. Thank you for spending this time with English Owl. Maybe you are at home. Maybe you are going to work. Maybe you are taking a walk. Wherever you are, I hope you enjoy this time. You do not need to understand every word. Just listen, enjoy the moment, and learn English one small step at a time. Some days you feel ready. You wake up with energy. You want to learn. You want to work. You want to do something good. Starting feels easy, but other days are different. You wake up tired. You do not want to study. You do not want to exercise. You do not want to work on your goal. You know what you should do, but you do not feel like doing it. We all have days like this. This is normal. You will not feel motivated every day. You will not feel strong every day. You will not feel ready every day. Your feelings change. One day you feel excited. The next day you feel tired. One morning you have many good ideas. The next morning you want to do nothing. This is part of life. But many people forget this. They begin something new. At first they feel excited. They make a plan. They buy a new book. They prepare everything. They say, "This time I will do it." For a few days, everything goes well. They feel strong. They feel ready. Then one difficult day comes. They feel tired. The excitement is gone. The goal is still there. The plan is still there. But the feeling is different. So they wait. They say, "I will do it tomorrow." Tomorrow comes. Maybe they still do not feel ready. So they wait again. One day becomes 2 days. 2 days become 1 week. And slowly the good action disappears. What happened? Did the goal become bad? No. Did the person become weak? No. The person simply waited for the right feeling. But the right feeling did not come. This is something important to understand. You cannot always wait until you feel ready, because your feelings do not always follow your plans. Maybe you plan to study English tonight, but tonight you feel tired. Maybe you plan to take a walk, but you want to stay inside. Maybe you plan to read a book, but your phone looks more interesting. This is when the real choice begins. It is easy to do something when you want to do it. The difficult moment comes when you do not want to do it. What will you do then? Many people think motivation comes first. They think, "First I need to feel ready. Then I will begin." But what if the feeling does not come? What if you wait all day? What if you wait all week? You may lose a lot of time. Maybe you do not need to feel ready first. Maybe you can begin without that feeling. Think about learning English. Some days you enjoy it. You understand the story. You learn new words. You feel good. You think, "I want to keep learning." But another day, English feels difficult. You do not understand much. You forget words. You feel tired. You think, "I do not want to study today." That day matters too. You do not need to study for 2 hours. You do not need to learn 50 words. You do not need to do something difficult. But maybe you can listen for 5 minutes. Maybe you can read one short page. Maybe you can learn one word. The action can be small, very small. The important thing is this: you did not wait for a perfect feeling. You did something anyway. This is a skill. And like every skill, you can practice it. At first, it may feel difficult. You think, "I really do not want to do this." That is okay. You do not need to fight with the feeling. You do not need to become excited. You can simply say, I do not feel like doing this, but I can do a little. Then begin. Maybe you still feel tired. That is okay. Maybe you still do not enjoy it. That is okay too. You are learning something important. You can act even when your feelings are not perfect. Think about a person waiting for a bus. The person wants to go home, but the bus is late. 5 minutes pass. Then 10 minutes. Then 20 minutes. The person keeps waiting. But imagine there is another way home. It is not perfect. Maybe it takes a little longer, but the person can start walking. What is better? Waiting forever? Or taking a small step? Sometimes motivation is like that bus. You wait for it. You look for it. You hope it will come. Sometimes it comes quickly. Sometimes it does not. But you do not always need to wait. You can take a small step. You can begin where you are. This does not mean you should never rest. Rest is important. Sometimes you really need to stop. Your body needs rest. Your mind needs rest. That is different. Rest is a choice. Waiting for motivation is often different. You are not resting. You are only waiting. You are saying, I will begin when I feel better. But you do not know when that feeling will come. This can keep you in the same place for a long time. So learn to ask yourself a simple question. Do I need rest? Or do I just not feel like doing it? These are not always the same. If you truly need rest, rest. Do not feel bad about it. But if you are only waiting for motivation, try something small. Very small. Open the book. Put on your shoes. Play the English story. Write one sentence. Save $1. Take one step. You do not need to finish everything. Just begin. Starting can change the moment. Before you start, the action feels heavy. You think about everything you need to do. 30 minutes of exercise. 20 pages of reading. 1 hour of English. The whole job feels too big. So you do nothing. But what if you only think about the first step? Not 30 minutes. 1 minute. Not 20 pages. 1 page. Not 1 hour. 5 minutes. Now the action feels different. You may still not want to do it, but maybe you can begin. And beginning matters. Many good things are lost before they even start. Not because they were impossible. Not because the person could not do them. The person simply waited too long for the right feeling. Do not give your feelings all the power. Your feelings matter. Listen to them. Understand them. But remember something. A feeling does not always need to decide your next action. You can feel tired and still read 1 page. You can feel lazy and still take a short walk. You can feel afraid and still begin. You can feel unsure and still try. 2 things can be true at the same time. I do not feel like doing this. And I can still do something small. This is a powerful idea. You do not need to become a different person first. You do not need to find more energy. You do not need to wait for Monday. You do not need to wait for next month. You can use the person you are today, with the energy you have today, and do what is possible today. Maybe today you can do a lot. Good. Do it. Maybe tomorrow you can only do a little. That is okay. Do a little. Your actions do not need to look the same every day. Life does not look the same every day. Some days are easy. Some days are hard. Some days give you more time. Some days give you less. The goal is not to force every day to be perfect. The goal is to learn how to move on different kinds of days. This is where many people have problems. They make one plan. Then they think every day must follow that plan. If they cannot do everything, they do nothing. They say, I do not have 30 minutes, so I will not walk. I cannot study for 1 hour, so I will not study. I cannot read 10 pages, so I will not read. But why? Why does it have to be everything or nothing? There is another choice. Do less. 5 minutes is more than 0. 1 page is more than 0. 1 word is more than 0. A short walk is more than no walk. Small actions may not feel exciting, but they keep you moving. And sometimes moving is enough. Think about a door. The door is closed. You stand in front of it. You think about what is on the other side. You think about how difficult the road may be. You think about how tired you are. You think and think, but the door stays closed. At some point, you need to touch the door. You need to open it. You need to take one step. You do not need to see the whole road. You only need to begin. Motivation can be helpful. Of course it can. When you feel excited, use that energy. When you feel strong, enjoy it. When you want to work, work. But do not build your whole life on motivation. It changes too often. Build something that can work on normal days too. Build something that can work when you feel tired. Build something small enough to begin. Maybe this means changing the way you think. Instead of saying, I need to feel ready, say, I can begin without feeling ready. Instead of saying, I need more motivation, say, I can do one small thing. Instead of saying, today is not a good day, say, what is possible today? That question can help you. What is possible today? Not tomorrow? Not next week? Today. Maybe the answer is small. That is fine. Do the small thing. You may be surprised by what happens next. Sometimes action can change your feelings. You do not want to walk, but you put on your shoes. You go outside. You walk for 5 minutes. Then you think, maybe I can walk a little more. You do not want to study English, but you play one short story. You listen for a few minutes. Then you hear a word you know. You become interested. You keep listening. This does not happen every time, and that is okay. The goal is not to make yourself feel excited. The goal is to learn that you can begin, even without excitement, even without a perfect mood, even on a normal day. This can change the way you see motivation. Motivation is no longer the door. It is only a visitor. Sometimes it comes. Sometimes it leaves. You can enjoy it when it is there. But your life does not need to stop when it is gone. You can still take a step, maybe a slower step, maybe a smaller step, but still a step. This is important because many of your days will be normal days. Not exciting days, not terrible days, just normal days. You wake up, you work, you eat, you feel a little tired, you have things to do. These normal days make up a large part of your life, so your good actions need to work there, not only on your best days. If you only study English when you feel excited, you may not study very often. If you only exercise when you feel strong, you may stop for long periods. If you only work on your dream when everything feels right, you may wait for years. Learn to work with normal days. Learn to do a little. Learn to begin without asking your feelings for permission. This does not mean becoming cold. It does not mean ignoring yourself. It means understanding that feelings change. And because they change, they cannot always lead the way. Sometimes your small action needs to lead. Then your feelings can follow. Maybe they follow quickly. Maybe they do not. Either way, you moved. You did something good. That matters. Think about your own life. Is there something you keep waiting to do? Maybe you want to learn English. Maybe you want to walk more. Maybe you want to read. Maybe you want to save money. Maybe you want to start a small project. What are you waiting for? More time? More energy? More confidence? More motivation? Maybe those things will come. But maybe you can do something before they come. Not everything. Something. One small action. Ask yourself, what can I do even when I do not feel like doing it? Make the answer easy. Make it simple. Make it possible. Then remember that answer on your difficult days. You do not need your best energy. You do not need your best mood. You only need enough energy for one small step. That step may not look important, but it teaches you something. It teaches you that your feelings are not the boss of every choice. It teaches you that a difficult day does not need to become an empty day. It teaches you that you can move even when you do not feel ready. This is not about being hard on yourself. It is about giving yourself another choice. Before, maybe you had two choices. Do everything, or do nothing. Now you have a third choice. Do a little. That third choice can help you many times. Too tired to do everything? Do a little. Too busy? Do a little. Not motivated? Do a little. Afraid to begin? Do a little. A little may be enough to keep the door open. A little may be enough to help you return tomorrow. A little may be enough to remind you of your direction. Do not laugh at small actions. They can help you on the days when big actions are impossible. And those days will come. You will not always feel ready. You will not always feel strong. You will not always feel motivated. That is okay. You do not need to wait for a better feeling. You can look at the day in front of you. You can look at the energy you have. And you can ask one simple question. What small thing can I do now? Then do that. Maybe your feelings will change. Maybe they will not. But you took a step. And sometimes, that is all you need to do today. There is something interesting about starting. Before you begin, the action can feel very hard. You look at the book. You do not want to open it. You look at your shoes. You do not want to go outside. You think about studying English. You already feel tired. Nothing has happened yet. But in your mind, the action feels heavy. This happens to many people. Sometimes, thinking about the action is harder than doing the action. You think about how long it will take. You think about how difficult it will be. You think about all the work you need to do. And the more you think, the harder it feels. So you wait. You hope your feelings will change. You hope you will suddenly want to begin. But maybe you do not need to wait. Maybe you need to start first. This idea is simple, but it can change many things. Do not wait until you want to read. Open the book first. Do not wait until you want to walk. Put on your shoes first. Do not wait until you want to study English. Play the lesson first. Take the first small action. Then see what happens. Maybe your feelings will change. Maybe they will not. But you have already started. And starting can make the next step easier. Think about a cold morning. You are warm in your bed. You know you need to get up, but you do not want to move. You think, just 5 more minutes. Then 5 minutes pass. you still do not want to get up. Why? Because waiting did not change the feeling. You are still warm. The bed is still comfortable. The morning is still cold. At some point, you need to move. You put one foot on the floor, then the other. You stand up. A few minutes later, you are washing your face. Then you are getting dressed. Soon, your day has started. Did you wait until you wanted to leave the bed? Maybe not. You moved first. Your feelings came later. Many things in life work this way. We think we need to feel ready before we act. But sometimes action needs to come first. This is especially true on difficult days. Maybe you come home after work. You plan to study English, but you are tired. You sit down. You look at your phone. You think, I will study when I feel better. 10 minutes pass. Then 20 minutes. You still do not feel like studying. Now the action feels even harder. You begin to think, it is too late. I am too tired. I will do it tomorrow. But what if you did something different? What if you did not ask yourself to study? What if you only asked yourself to play the English story? That is all. Touch the screen. Play the story. Listen to the first sentence. Maybe you stop after 5 minutes. That is okay. But maybe something else happens. You hear a word you know, then another. You become interested. 5 minutes become 10 minutes. You keep listening. The difficult part was not always the listening. The difficult part was starting. This is important to understand. Your mind can make the beginning feel very big. It can take a small action and turn it into a huge problem. I have to study for 1 hour. I have to exercise. I have to clean everything. I have to finish this work. These thoughts feel heavy. So make the beginning smaller. Do not think about the whole action. Think about the first move. Open the book. Put on the shoes. Stand up. Write one word. Play the lesson. The first move can be very small. That is good. Small is easier to begin. And when you begin, you are no longer standing in the same place. You are moving. Imagine a bicycle. When the bicycle is not moving, you need to push harder at first. The beginning can feel difficult. But once the bicycle begins to move, riding can feel easier. You are already going forward. You do not need to start again every second. You only need to keep moving. Your actions can feel like this too. Before you begin, you may feel heavy. You think, you wait, you worry, you make excuses. Then you take one small action. Something changes. You are no longer thinking about starting. You have started. Now you only need to take the next small step. This is why the first minute can be so important. Do not ask yourself for one perfect hour. Ask for 1 minute. 1 minute of reading. 1 minute of walking. 1 minute of English. 1 minute of work. You can do more later. But first, begin. Many people make the beginning too difficult. They prepare too much. They think too much. They wait too long. They want the perfect time, the perfect place, the perfect plan, the perfect feeling. But while they wait, nothing moves. You do not need everything to be perfect. You need a beginning. A small beginning is enough. Maybe you want to read more. Do not spend 1 hour thinking about which book to read. Choose one. Open it. Read the first page. Maybe it is not the perfect book. That is okay. You are reading. Maybe you want to exercise. Do not spend all your time looking for the perfect plan. Stand up, move your body, walk outside. Begin with something simple. Maybe you want to improve your English. Do not wait until you find the best lesson in the world. Listen to something easy. Repeat one sentence. Learn one word. Begin where you are. You can change your plan later. You can learn more later. You can make things better later. But you cannot continue something you never begin. This is why action can be more helpful than too much thinking. Thinking is important. Planning is useful. But there is a time to stop planning. There is a time to move. Sometimes you already know enough. You know you want to learn English. You know you want to walk more. You know you want to read. You know you want to save money. You do not need another week of thinking. You need one small action. This can be difficult because thinking feels safe. When you only think, you cannot fail. You cannot make a mistake. You cannot look bad. You can stay comfortable. But you also stay in the same place. Action is different. When you act, something becomes real. You may make a mistake. You may feel uncomfortable. You may learn that your plan needs to change. But you are moving. And moving teaches you things that thinking cannot teach you. Imagine you want to learn how to swim. You can read many books about swimming. You can watch videos. You can learn about your arms. You can learn about your legs. You can think about breathing. All of this may help. But one day you need to enter the water. You need to try. You need to feel what swimming is like. You may make mistakes. That is how you learn. Many goals are the same. You cannot think your way to better English. At some point, you need to listen. You need to read. You need to speak. You cannot think your way to better health. At some point, you need to move. You cannot think your way to a finished book. At some point, you need to read the pages. Action gives you experience, and experience can change your feelings. Maybe you feel afraid before you begin. Then you try. You learn that the action is not as bad as you imagined. Next time, you feel a little less afraid. Maybe you feel lazy before a walk. Then you go outside. After 10 minutes, you feel better. Next time, you remember that feeling. Maybe English feels too difficult. Then you listen to an easy story. You understand more than you expected. Now English feels a little less scary. You did not change your feelings by sitting and waiting. You changed them by moving. Again, this does not happen every time. Sometimes you begin and still feel tired. Sometimes you begin and the action is still difficult. Sometimes you do 5 minutes and want to stop. That is okay. You can stop. The important lesson is not that starting will always make you feel good. The lesson is that you do not need to feel good before you start. There is a big difference. You are not making a promise that every action will be easy. You are only saying, I can begin before I feel ready. This gives you more freedom. You do not need to control every feeling. You do not need to make yourself excited. You do not need to fight with your mind all day. You can notice the feeling. I am tired. I am not motivated. I do not want to do this. Then you can say, okay, I will begin with one small step. You are not fighting yourself. You are not saying the feeling is wrong. You are simply choosing an action. This can make difficult days easier. Many people spend too much energy trying to feel different. They say, why am I so lazy today? Why am I not excited? Why do I not feel strong? They become angry with themselves. Now they have two problems. They do not want to do the action, and they feel bad about not wanting to do it. You do not need to do this. Let the feeling be there. Then ask, what is the smallest first step? This question brings you back to action. Maybe the answer is very small. Good. Small is useful. Maybe you only put the book on the table. Maybe you only change into your walking clothes. Maybe you only open the document. Maybe you only listen to 1 minute of English. The first step does not need to impress anyone. It only needs to help you begin. There is another reason starting first can help. Your mind often follows what you are doing. When you are sitting on the sofa, your mind wants to keep resting. When you are looking at your phone, your mind wants to keep looking. When you are lying in bed, your mind wants to stay there. Your body is already doing something. So changing the action can help change the direction of your mind. Stand up. Move to another room. Put the phone down. Open the window. Take out the book. Change what your body is doing. Sometimes, a small physical action can be easier than trying to change your whole mind. You do not need to think, I must become motivated now. Just stand up. That is simpler. You do not need to think, I must love studying English. Just play the story. You do not need to think, I must become a person who loves exercise. Just put on your shoes. Let the action be simple. We often make change too difficult in our minds. We think we need a new personality, more confidence, more motivation, more power. But maybe you do not need any of these things right now. Maybe you need to move your hand, move your feet, open something, close something, begin something. The action comes first. This is a useful idea for fear too. Sometimes you are not tired. You are afraid. You want to try something new. But you think, what if I fail? What if I make a mistake? What if I am not good enough? So you wait for confidence. You say, I will begin when I feel more confident. But confidence may not come first. Maybe confidence also needs action. You try something small. You make a mistake. Nothing terrible happens. You try again. You learn. Slowly, you feel more comfortable. The confidence came after the action, not before it. Think about a child learning to ride a bicycle. The child may feel afraid. The child does not wait until all fear is gone. The child gets on the bicycle. Maybe someone helps. The child moves a short distance, then tries again. Little by little, the fear becomes smaller. The child did not think the fear away. The child practiced. This is true for many things. You can wait for courage, or you can take a small step while you are still afraid. You can wait for motivation, or you can begin while you still feel tired. You can wait for confidence, or you can try while you still feel unsure. The feeling does not always need to come first. Sometimes action opens the door. This can change the way you look at difficult moments. When you do not feel like doing something, you do not need to think, today is lost. You can think, I have not started yet. That is different. The day is not over. The chance is still there. Take one small action. See what happens. Maybe you do 5 minutes. Good. Maybe you continue longer. Good. Maybe you learn something. Good. You do not need to know the result before you begin. You only need to give the action a chance. Think about how much time can be lost while waiting. Waiting to feel ready. Waiting to feel strong. Waiting to feel sure. Waiting for the perfect Monday. Waiting for a new month. waiting for a better life. But life is already happening. Today is already here. You may not feel ready. But maybe ready is not something you need. Maybe you only need a beginning. A very small beginning. Look at one thing you want to do. Do not think about the whole goal. Do not think about next month. Do not think about how difficult it may become. Look at the first action. What is it? Can you open the book? Can you play the lesson? Can you stand up? Can you write one sentence? Can you walk for 1 minute? Then do that first. Let the next step come later. This is how you make a heavy action lighter. You stop carrying the whole thing in your mind. You only carry the first step, then the next, and the next. Maybe you still do not feel motivated. That is okay. Motivation is not the goal. Movement is the goal. You moved. You began. You gave yourself a chance. And every time you practice beginning, starting can become a little less difficult. You learn that you do not need the perfect feeling. You learn that you do not need to wait. You learn that the first step can be small. You learn that action can come before motivation. This is a powerful skill, because there will always be things you do not feel like doing. Work, study, exercise, difficult conversations, small jobs around your home, things that matter to your future. You cannot wait to love every action. You cannot wait to feel excited every day. But you can learn how to begin. So the next time you hear yourself say, "I do not feel like it," do not become angry. Do not fight with yourself. Do not wait all day for the feeling to disappear. Ask one question. What is the first small action? Then do it. Open, stand, walk, listen, read, write, begin. You do not need to change your whole mind first. You do not need to become excited. You do not need to feel ready. Sometimes your feet can move before your feelings do. Sometimes your hands can begin before your mind agrees. And once you are moving, the next step may be easier to see. The hardest part may have been the moment before you started. So make that moment smaller. Make the first action easier. Give yourself a simple way in. Then begin before your feelings change. Because sometimes the feeling you are waiting for is waiting on the other side of the first step. Some days are easy. Some days are hard. This is normal. On an easy day, you can do a lot. You can study for 1 hour. You can take a long walk. You can read many pages. You can work on your goal. You feel good. You have energy. But not every day is like this. Some days you are tired. Some days you are busy. Some days you feel sad. Some days you do not want to do anything. What should you do on these days? Many people make one big mistake. They think they only have 2 choices. Do everything, or do nothing. They say, "I cannot study for 1 hour today." So they do not study at all. They say, "I cannot walk for 30 minutes." So they stay home. They say, "I cannot read 10 pages." So they do not open the book. They say, "I cannot do my full plan." So they stop. But there is another choice. Do less. That is all. You do not need to do everything. You can do a little. If 1 hour is too hard, study for 10 minutes. If 10 minutes is too hard, study for 5 minutes. If 5 minutes is too hard, learn one word. Make the action smaller. If you cannot walk for 30 minutes, walk for 10 minutes. If 10 minutes is too much, walk for 5 minutes. If 5 minutes is too much, walk around your home. Make the action smaller. If you cannot read 10 pages, read 3 pages. If 3 pages are too much, read 1 page. If 1 page feels hard, read 1 paragraph. Make the action smaller. This is a simple idea, but it can help you a lot. You do not need to stop. You only need to do less. There is a big difference. Doing less is not the same as giving up. Remember this. Maybe you plan to study English for 30 minutes, but you only studied for 5 minutes. Did you fail? No. You did something. You spent 5 minutes with English. You listened. You learned. You kept the action in your day. That matters. Maybe you planned to take a long walk, but you were very tired, so you only walked for 5 minutes. Did you fail? No. You put on your shoes. You went outside. You moved your body. You did something good. That matters too. We often think small actions do not matter. We say, it was only 5 minutes. It was only 1 page. It was only 1 word. But why do we say only? 5 minutes are still 5 minutes. 1 page is still 1 page. 1 word is still 1 word. Small does not mean nothing. This is important. Something small is still something. And on a hard day, something small can be enough. Think about your phone. Maybe your phone has only 10% power. You want to use it for a long time. But you cannot. There is not enough power. Does this mean the phone is useless? No. You can still use it. You just need to use it less. You need to be careful. Your energy can be like this too. Some days, you have a lot of energy. Good. Use it. Some days, you have less energy. That is okay. Do less. You do not need to act like every day is the same. Every day is not the same. Your energy changes. Your time changes. Your life changes. So your action can change too. This can make your goal easier to keep. Imagine you have one plan. You say, I will study English for 1 hour every day. On Monday, you do it. On Tuesday, you do it. On Wednesday, you are very busy. You cannot study for 1 hour. What do? Maybe you think, I cannot follow my plan. So you do nothing. On Thursday, you feel bad. You think, I already stopped. Then you do nothing again. 1 hard day becomes 2 days, then 3 days. Soon the action is gone. But what if you had a smaller plan for hard days? On Wednesday, you are busy. You cannot study for 1 hour. So you listen to English for 5 minutes. That is all. The next day, you have more time. You study longer again. The hard day did not stop you. You made the action smaller. Then you continued. This is a very useful skill. You need to know how to do less. Many people know how to start. Many people know how to work hard. But they do not know how to do less. This sounds strange. Why do we need to learn how to do less? Because life is not always easy. You will have busy days. You will have tired days. You will have bad days. You need a plan for these days too. A good plan should not only work on your best days, it should also work on normal days and hard days. This is why a small action is useful. A small action is easier to carry. Think about a bag. You put many heavy things inside. The bag becomes very heavy. At first you can carry it. But after some time, you become tired. You put the bag down. Now think about a small bag. It is light. You can carry it for a longer time. Your actions can be like this. A very big plan can feel heavy. You may carry it for a few days. Then you become tired. A smaller plan can be easier. You can keep it with you. You can continue. This does not mean you should never work hard. Of course not. When you have time and energy, you can do more. Study longer. Walk farther. Read more. Work harder. That is fine. But on a hard day, make the action smaller. Do not throw the whole plan away. Change the size. This can help you stay close to your goal. Think about learning English. Maybe your normal plan is 20 minutes. Today, you are tired, so you listen for 5 minutes. Tomorrow, you feel better. You go back to 20 minutes. Nothing is lost. You are still moving. Maybe you read every night. Your normal plan is 10 pages. But today, you come home late. You are very tired. Read 1 page. Then go to sleep. Tomorrow, read more. You do not need to make one hard day bigger than it is. It is only one day. Do what you can. Then come back tomorrow. This way of thinking can make life easier. You stop asking, "Can I do everything?" You ask, "What can I do today?" That is a better question. Maybe today you can do a lot. Good. Maybe today you can do a little. That is okay too. The answer can change every day. Your goal can stay the same, but the size of the action can change. This is important. You do not need the same action every day. You need an action that works today. Maybe yesterday you walked for 1 hour. Today, you only walk for 10 minutes. That is okay. You are not going backward. You are working with the day you have. Maybe yesterday you learned 20 English words. Today, you only learned 2. That is okay too. You are still learning. Do not compare every day to your best day. This can make you feel bad. You remember the day you had a lot of energy. You did so much. Then today you are tired. You cannot do the same thing. You think, "I am getting worse." No. Today is simply different. Do what you can today. Your best day is not the rule for every day. You do not need to beat yesterday. You do not need to do more every day. You only need to keep a small place for the good action. Sometimes that place is big. Sometimes it is small. But the action is still there. Think about a small light. A strong wind comes. The light becomes weak. What do? You protect the light. You do not ask it to become bigger. You help it stay on. Your good action can be like that light. On an easy day, it can be strong. On a hard day, it may become small. Protect it. Do something simple. Do something easy. Keep the light on. Tomorrow may be better. Then you can do more again. This is why doing less can be powerful. It helps you stay close to the action. You do not need to start again from 0. You are still there. Maybe you only did 1 minute, but you returned. Maybe you only read 1 page, but you opened the book. Maybe you only learned 1 word, but you spent time with English. The action is still part of your life. Do not make a small action feel bad. Do not say, "This is not enough." On some days, it may be enough. Enough for today. Tomorrow is another day. This idea can also help you begin. Sometimes you do not start because the action feels too big. You think, "I need to clean the whole house." That feels hard. So you do nothing. Make it smaller. Clean 1 table. You think, "I need to read this whole book." That feels hard. Make it smaller. Read 1 page. You think, "I need to improve my English." That goal feels very big. Make it smaller. Listen for 5 minutes. Big goals can be scary. Small actions are easier to see. You know what to do. You know where to start. You do not need to think about everything. You only need to do one small thing. Then maybe you stop. That is okay. Or maybe you continue. That is okay too. The small action gives you a choice. It opens the door. This is very different from doing nothing. When you do nothing, the door stays closed. When you do something small, the door is open. Maybe only a little, but it is open. You can walk through it tomorrow. This is why one small action can matter. It keeps you close. It helps you return. It reminds you of what you want. Maybe you want to learn English. One short lesson reminds you, this is important to me. Maybe you want better health. One short walk reminds you, I want to take care of my body. Maybe you want to read more. One page reminds you, I want to learn. The action may be small, but the message is clear. You are still here. You still care. You have not given up. This can help you trust yourself too. Imagine you make a big promise every Monday. I will do everything this week. Then a hard day comes. You stop. Next Monday, you make the same promise. Then you stop again. After some time, you may stop believing your own words. But what if you make a smaller promise? I will do what I can. On a good day, you do more. On a hard day, you do less. But you keep coming back. After some time, you learn something. You can trust yourself to return. This is more important than being perfect. You do not need to say, I never miss a day. Maybe that is not true. You can say, I know how to come back. That is a useful skill. And making the action smaller can help you come back. There will be days when you do nothing. That can happen too. You are human. Maybe you are sick. Maybe you have a big problem. Maybe you truly need rest. Do not be afraid. One empty day does not end everything. Rest. Take care of yourself. Then when you are ready, return with something small. Do not try to do everything because you missed one day. Do not say, I need to study for 3 hours now. You do not need to pay for yesterday. Just return. 5 minutes. 1 page. One small action. Make returning easy. This is important. Sometimes people make returning too hard. They miss 1 week. Then they think, now I need a big new plan. They wait for Monday. They buy new things. They make many rules. But maybe they only need to begin again. Small. Simple. Today. You do not need a big restart. You need one small action. Think about falling while you walk. You fall down. What do? You do not go back to the beginning of the road. You stand up where you are. Then you take the next step. Your goals can work this way too. If you stop, you do not lose everything. Stand up where you are. Do something small. Then move again. This is a kinder way to continue. You do not need to be angry with yourself. You do not need to feel bad for many days. You do not need to wait for a perfect new start. Make the next action smaller. Then do it. This can help you many times in life. Because there will always be difficult days. You cannot remove them. You cannot make every day easy. But you can learn what to do when a hard day comes. Do less. Make it simple. Keep the door open. Then return tomorrow. Maybe this sounds too easy. Maybe you think, can 5 minutes really help me? Yes. But not because 5 minutes will change your whole life today. 5 minutes can help because it is possible. You can do it. And when you do it, you stay close to your goal. You keep the action alive. You make tomorrow easier. That is the power of a small action. It is not big. It is not exciting. But it can stay with you. And something that stays can help you for a long time. So the next time you do not feel like doing something, do not ask for your best work. Do not ask for a perfect day. Do not ask yourself to do everything. Make the action smaller, then smaller again. Find the size you can do. Maybe it is 10 minutes. Maybe it is 5. Maybe it is 1. That is okay. Start there. Do what you can. Then let it be enough for today. Tomorrow you can ask again. What can I do today? Maybe the answer will be bigger. Maybe it will still be small. Both are okay. Keep working with the day you have. Keep making the action possible. Keep giving yourself a way to begin. Because on the days when you do not feel strong, you do not always need more motivation. Sometimes you only need a smaller step. Sometimes you will have a bad day. You will make a plan, but you will not follow it. You will say, I will study English today, but you will not study. You will say, I will take a walk, but you will stay home. You will say, I will read before bed, but you will look at your phone instead. The day will end. Then you may feel bad. You may think, why did I do that? I had a good plan. I wanted to do better, but I did nothing. This feeling can be hard, but remember something. One bad day is only one bad day. It is not the end. It does not mean you cannot change. It does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you need to stop. It was one day. That is all. But many people make one bad day bigger. They miss one day. Then they feel bad. The next day, they still think about the mistake. They say, I already stopped. So they do nothing again. Then another day passes. Now they feel worse. One bad day becomes 3 bad days. Then 1 week. The first mistake was small, but they did not return. This is why returning is so important. You do not need to be perfect. You need to know how to come back. Think about learning English. Maybe you listened every day for 2 weeks. Then one day, you were very busy. You did not listen. What should you do? The answer is simple. Listen again tomorrow. That is all. You do not need a new plan. You do not need to start next Monday. You do not need to feel bad for 1 week. Just come back. Maybe you only listen for 5 minutes. That is okay. You returned. And returning matters. Maybe you wanted to walk every day. Then it rained. You were tired. You stayed home. The next day, go outside again. You do not need to walk for 2 hours. You do not need to do more because you missed yesterday. Just take your normal walk. Come back. Maybe you wanted to save money. Then you bought something you did not need. You feel bad. You think, I made a mistake. Yes, maybe you did. But what can you do now? Make a better choice next time. 1 mistake does not need to become 10 mistakes. You can return. This is a very simple idea. But many people forget it. They think change must be perfect. They think 1 mistake means failure. They think missing 1 day means starting from 0. But that is not true. You are not starting from 0. You still have what you learned. You still have your experience. You still have the good days behind you. One bad day cannot take all of that away. Imagine you are walking on a long road. You walk for many days. Then one day you sit down. You rest. Did the road behind you disappear? No. Are you back at the beginning? No. You are still on the road. You only stopped for a short time. When you are ready, stand up. Take another step. Your goals can work this way too. You may stop. You may rest. You may make a mistake. But you do not need to go back to the beginning. You can continue from where you are. This can help you feel less afraid of mistakes. Many people are afraid to start because they think they must be perfect. They think, what if I miss a day? What if I stop? What if I make a mistake? Of course you will make mistakes. Everyone does. You will have difficult days. You will forget. You will become tired. Life will change your plans. This is normal. The important question is not, will I ever make a mistake? You will. The better question is, what will I do after the mistake? Will you stop? Will you wait? Will you spend many days feeling bad? Or will you come back? This is where a small choice can help you. You made a mistake yesterday. Today, do one small thing. Open the book. Listen for 5 minutes. Take a short walk. Save a little money. Return. You do not need to feel ready. You do not need to feel good about yesterday. You can still do something today. Sometimes people wait because they feel bad. They say, I am angry with myself. I am disappointed. I do not want to think about my goal. So they stay away from it. But staying away can make the feeling worse. The goal begins to feel bigger. Returning begins to feel harder. So do not wait too long. Come back with something small. Make returning easy. This is important. If you miss 1 week of English, do not say, now I must study for 3 hours. That makes returning hard. Listen for 5 minutes. If you did not walk for 2 weeks, do not say, now I must walk 10 miles. Take a short walk. If you did not read for 1 month, do not say, now I must finish a whole book. Read 1 page. Come back slowly. Come back simply. The goal is to return, not to pay for your mistake. You do not need to hurt yourself because you stopped. You do not need to make the next action very hard. You only need to begin again. Think about dropping a cup. The cup falls from your hand. Maybe it breaks. You feel bad. But what do you do next? Do you drop every cup in your home? Of course not. One mistake does not mean you need to make more mistakes. But sometimes we do this with our goals. We eat one thing we did not plan to eat. Then we say, today's already bad. So we keep eating. We spend money on one thing. Then we say, I already failed. So we spend more. We miss 1 day of study. Then we say, I stopped. So we miss the whole week. Why? The first mistake already happened. Do not give it more days. Stop the mistake where it is. Then return. This is a useful way to think. One bad meal is one bad meal. One missed walk is one missed walk. 1 day without English is 1 day without English. Keep it small. Do not make it bigger in your mind. Do not say, everything is gone. Everything is not gone. Tomorrow is still there. Your next choice is still there. You can use it. Maybe this sounds easy, but it can be difficult. When we make a mistake, we often feel many things. We feel sad. We feel angry. We feel tired. We may feel ashamed. Then we say bad things to ourselves. I always do this. I never finish anything. I cannot change. I am too lazy. Be careful with these words. One day cannot tell you who you are. One mistake cannot tell your whole story. You missed one day. That is what happened. Do not add more to it. Do not say, I always fail. Say, I missed one day. Do not say, I cannot do this. Say, today was hard. Do not say, I need to start my whole life again. Say, I can do one small thing now. Simple words can help. They keep the problem small, and a small problem is easier to answer. Think about a child learning to walk. The child stands up, then falls. What happens next? The child tries again, then falls again. Does the child say, I am bad at walking? No. The child is learning. Falling is part of learning. Trying again is also part of learning. You can learn this too. Maybe you are learning how to study every day. You will miss some days. Maybe you are learning how to save money. You will make some bad choices. Maybe you are learning how to exercise. You will have weeks when you do less. You are learning. You do not need to know how to do everything perfectly. You can make a mistake, then learn, then return. This is how you grow. A mistake can teach you something. Maybe you missed your English lesson because you were too tired at night. What can you learn? Maybe morning is better for you. Maybe you planned to walk for 1 hour, but the plan was too hard. What can you learn? Maybe 20 minutes is better. Maybe you spent too much money because you went shopping when you were bored. What can you learn? Maybe you need another thing to do when you feel bored. The mistake can give you information. Use it. Do not only feel bad. Ask, what happened? Then ask, what can I do differently? Keep the answer simple. Maybe you need a smaller action. Maybe you need a better time. Maybe you need to put your phone away. Maybe you need more rest. Learn something. Then try again. This is better than being angry with yourself. Being angry for many days does not help you move. Learning can help. Returning can help. One small action can help. This is why a bad day does not need to be useless. Maybe the day can teach you something. Maybe you learn that your plan was too big. Maybe you learn that you need more sleep. Maybe you learn that you need to prepare before a busy day. Maybe you learn that you need to ask for help. Good days can teach you. Bad days can teach you too. Use both. This can make you stronger. Not because you never make mistakes, because you learn what to do after them. Think about a ball. You drop the ball. It hits the ground. Then it comes back up. Your life may feel like this sometimes. You go down. Then you come back. You have a bad day. Then you return. You lose your way. Then you find it again. The goal is not to stay at the top every day. The goal is to learn how to come back. This can take time. At first, one bad day may become one bad week. Later, maybe one bad day becomes 2 bad days. Then you return. After more time, maybe you return the next morning. That is progress. You are getting better at coming back. Notice that. Maybe you still make mistakes, but you do not stay away for as long. That matters. Before, you stopped for 3 months. Now you return after 1 week. That is better. Before you stopped for 1 week. Now you return after 1 day. That is better too. You do not need to remove every mistake. Learn to make the time away shorter. Come back sooner. This is a simple goal, and it can help you for a long time. Maybe you are thinking about something you stopped. English, exercise, reading, saving money, a project, a dream. Maybe you have been away for a long time. You may think, it is too late to go back. Is it? Maybe you cannot change the days that are gone. But you still have today. You can return today. Not with a big plan. Not with a big promise. With one small action. Listen to one English story. Take one short walk. Read one page. Save a little money. Write one sentence. Do something. Then you are no longer only thinking about returning. You returned. That can feel good. But even if it does not feel good, it still matters. You took the next step. Do not wait for a special day. You do not need Monday. You do not need the first day of a new month. You do not need January 1st. Today can be enough. This moment can be enough. You can begin again in the middle of a day. You can begin again on a Wednesday. You can begin again after a bad morning. You can begin again after one mistake. You can begin again many times. There is no rule that says you only get one start. This is good news. Because life is long. Things happen. Plans change. You change. You may need to begin again many times. That is okay. Starting again does not mean you are weak. It means you are still trying. Maybe you need a different plan. Maybe you need a smaller action. Maybe you need more rest. Maybe you need to go slower. Change what you need to change. Then continue. Do not stay with a bad plan only because it was your first plan. A plan is there to help you. You are not there to help the plan. If 1 hour is too much, make it 10 minutes. If every day is too hard, choose a few days. If the morning does not work, try the evening. Find a way to return. Make the road easier to walk. This is not cheating. This is learning. You are learning about your life. You are learning what works for you. And sometimes you need a bad day to learn these things. So the next time you miss a day, remember this. Stop. Look at what happened. Do not make the mistake bigger. Do not use one bad day to tell a bad story about yourself. Do not wait for a perfect new start. Ask a simple question. What can I do now? Maybe you can do the full action. Good. Maybe you can only do a little. That is okay. Return with what you have. Return with the energy you have. Return with the time you have. You do not need to return perfectly. You only need to return. One bad day does not remove all your good days. One mistake does not remove everything you learned. One stop does not mean the road is closed. The road is still there. Your next step is still there. Take it. Then take another when you can. This is how you keep moving. Not by being perfect. Not by never falling. But by coming back. Again. And again. Maybe you will have another bad day next week. That is possible. Maybe you will make another mistake. Of course. You are human. But now you can remember what to do. Keep the bad day small. Learn what you can. Then return. Do not carry yesterday into every new day. Yesterday is finished. Today gives you another choice. Use it. Maybe the choice is small. That is enough. A short lesson. A short walk. One page. One good choice. One step back toward the road. That step can be your new beginning. And the more times you learn to come back, the less afraid you may become of bad days. You begin to understand something. A bad day can slow you down. But it does not have to stop you. Some days you will feel ready. Some days you will not. Some days you will have a lot of energy. Some days you will feel tired. Some days you will want to work on your goal. Some days you will want to do nothing. This is life. Your feelings will change. Your energy will change. Your days will change. But you can still make a choice. You can do something. Maybe not a lot. Maybe not for a long time. Maybe not perfectly. But you can do something. This is the message of this story. Do it anyway. You do not feel like studying English? Listen for 5 minutes anyway. You do not feel like walking? Walk around the block anyway. You do not feel like reading? Read 1 page anyway. You do not feel like working on your goal? Do one small thing anyway. You do not need to do everything. You do not need to have your best day. You only need to ask one question. What can I do now? Then do that. Maybe the answer is small. That is okay. Small is still something. And something is better than nothing. Many people wait for a good feeling. They say, I will start when I feel ready. But the feeling may not come. They wait. And wait. And wait. The days pass. The goal stays in the same place. But you do not need to wait. You can begin before you feel ready. You can begin while you feel tired. You can begin while you feel unsure. You can begin with one small step. This can be hard at first. Your mind may say, not today. Your body may say, I am tired. Your phone may look more interesting. Your bed may feel more comfortable. That is normal. You do not need to fight with these feelings. You do not need to say, I must feel different. Just notice the feeling. Then choose your next action. I'm tired. Okay, what can I do? I can listen for 5 minutes. Then listen. I do not want to walk. Okay, what can I do? I can walk for 10 minutes. Then walk. I do not want to read. Okay, what can I do? I can read 1 page. Then read. Keep it simple. Do not make the moment too big. Sometimes we think too much. We think about the whole goal. We think about tomorrow. We think about next month. We think about all the work we need to do. Then we feel tired before we even begin. Come back to now. Come back to this day. Come back to the next small action. You do not need to finish the whole road today. You only need to take 1 step. Think about a long set of stairs. You stand at the bottom. You look up. There are many steps. You think, this is too hard. You think about every step at the same time. Of course it feels hard. But you do not need to take every step now. Take the first one, then the next one, then another. Maybe you stop and rest. That is okay. When you are ready, take another step. This is how you move. Your goals can work the same way. Do not carry the whole goal today. Carry 1 small action. That is enough. Maybe you want to speak English well. That is a big goal. Do not carry the whole goal today. Listen to 1 story. Learn 1 word. Repeat 1 sentence. That is your step. Maybe you want better health. That is a big goal too. Do not try to change your whole life today. Take a short walk. Drink some water. Go to bed a little earlier. That is your step. Maybe you want to save more money. Do not think about a huge number. Save a little today. Do not buy 1 thing you do not need. That is your step. Small steps are easier to take, and you can take them on many kinds of days. This is important because your life will not always be easy. You will have busy days. You will have slow days. You will have happy days. You will have sad days. You will have days when everything goes well. You will have days when nothing goes as planned. Your good actions need to live in this real life. Not in a perfect life. Not in a life with no problems. In your life. The life you have now. So make your action fit your day. On a good day, do more. On a hard day, do less. But when you can, do something. This can help you keep moving. Maybe yesterday you studied English for 1 hour. Today you can only study for 10 minutes. That is okay. Do 10 minutes. Maybe yesterday you walked for a long time. Today you are tired. Take a short walk. Maybe yesterday you read 20 pages. Today you can only read 1. Read 1? You do not need to be the same every day. You only need to work with the day you have. This is a simple way to live. But it can help you a lot. You stop asking, "Can I do everything?" You ask, "What can I do?" You stop asking, "Do I feel ready?" You ask, "What is my first step?" You stop asking, "What if I make a mistake?" You ask, "Can I come back?" These are better questions. They help you move. They help you begin. They help you return. And sometimes that is all you need. Maybe you have spent a long time waiting. Waiting for more energy. Waiting for more time. Waiting for more confidence. Waiting for Monday. Waiting for a new month. Waiting for a better life. But today is already here. You have this day. You have this moment. What can you do with it? Maybe not much. That is okay. Do what you can. You do not need to change your whole life. You only need to make one choice. Then another choice will come later. This can take some pressure away. You do not need to promise that you will never stop. You may stop. You do not need to promise that you will never make a mistake. You will make mistakes. You do not need to promise that you will always feel strong. You will not. Make a smaller promise. When I can, I will do something. And when I stop, I will try to come back. That is enough. Think about how different this is. Before, maybe you said, "I must do this every day." Then you missed one day. You felt bad. You stopped. Now you can think differently. I missed one day. Okay, I can come back today. Before, maybe you said, "I need to do 1 hour." Then you only had 10 minutes. You did nothing. Now you can say, "I have 10 minutes. I can use them." Before, maybe you waited to feel motivated. Now you can say, "I do not feel motivated, but I can still begin." These are small changes in the way you think, but they can help you make better choices. You do not need to be hard on yourself. You do not need to push yourself all day. You only need to make the next action possible. That is why small actions are so useful. They give you a way forward, even on a hard day, even when you are tired, even when you do not feel ready. A big action may feel impossible. A small action may feel possible. Choose possible. Then begin. Maybe you do more after you start. Good. Maybe you do not. That is okay too. You still did something. You still moved. You still gave your goal some time. Do not think that every action needs to be big. A small action can have an important job. Its job may be to keep you close to your goal. Its job may be to help you return. Its job may be to remind you what you want. Its job may be to make tomorrow easier. That is enough. Think about a small bridge. You want to cross a river. The bridge does not need to be beautiful. It does not need to be huge. It only needs to help you reach the other side. A small action can be like that bridge. It helps you move from thinking to doing, from waiting to starting, from stopping to returning. Use the bridge. Take the small action. Then see what happens. Maybe your feelings change. Maybe you feel better. Maybe you want to continue. That can happen, but remember this. You do not need that result. You do not need to feel good after every action. Sometimes you will do the small thing and still feel tired. Sometimes you will study and still find English hard. Sometimes you will walk and still have a bad day. That is okay. The action still matters. You did not do it to make every feeling disappear. You did it because the action was good for you. This is an important lesson. Not everything that is good for you will feel good right away. Learning can be hard. Exercise can be tiring. Saving money can mean saying no to something you want. Working on a dream can be scary. But difficult does not always mean bad. Sometimes difficult things help you grow. You do not need to love every minute. You only need to remember why the action matters to you. Maybe you are learning English because you want to understand more. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want a better job. Maybe you simply enjoy learning. Remember your reason. Then take one small step. Your reason does not need to make you feel excited every day. It only needs to remind you of your direction. You know where you want to go. Now do what you can today. There will be times when you forget this. You will wait again. You will make the action too big. You will miss a day. You may even stop for a long time. That can happen. When it does, remember the simple lessons from this story. You do not feel ready? Begin small. The action feels too hard? Make it smaller. You had a bad day? Come back. You stopped for a long time? Begin again. Keep the answer simple. You do not need a new life plan every time something goes wrong. You need the next step. That step is still there. Maybe it is very small. Take it anyway. There is no perfect time to begin. Maybe you already know this. You have probably waited for the perfect time before. Maybe you said, I will start next week. Then next week came. You were still busy. Maybe you said, I will start when I have more energy. But life stayed busy. Maybe you said, I will start when I feel ready. But you still felt unsure. The perfect time can be hard to find. So use the time you have. Use 5 minutes. Use 10 minutes. Use this morning. Use this evening. Use today. You do not need a perfect day. You need a real day. And this is a real day. Maybe it is not your best day. Maybe you are tired. Maybe you are worried. Maybe you have many things to do. Still, there may be one small thing you can do. Find it. Then do it. This is not about doing more and more. It is not about working all the time. It is not about never resting. Rest is important. Your health is important. Your life is more than one goal. Remember that. Sometimes the right choice is to rest. Sometimes the right choice is to stop for the day. But sometimes you are not resting. You are waiting. You are waiting for a feeling. You are waiting for motivation. You are waiting because starting feels hard. Learn to see the difference. Ask yourself, Do I need rest? If the answer is yes, rest. Then come back when you can. But if the answer is, I just do not feel like doing it, try one small action. That may be enough. You are learning to understand yourself. You are learning when to rest. You are learning when to move. You are learning how small the action needs to be. This takes time. You will not always make the best choice. That is okay. Learn. Then try again. You do not need to become perfect at this. You only need to get a little better at returning, a little better at beginning, a little better at making the action smaller, a little better at doing what you can. These small skills can help you for many years because motivation will come and go. Your feelings will change. Your life will change. But you can carry these skills with you. You can ask, what can I do now? You can find one small action. You can begin. Maybe this is what real strength looks like. Not feeling strong every day. Not doing everything perfectly. Not always wanting to work. Maybe real strength is simpler. You feel tired, but you do one small thing. You make a mistake, but you come back. You stop, but you begin again. You feel afraid, but you take one small step. You do not feel ready, but you start anyway. These moments may look small. No one may see them. No one may say, good job, but they matter because they are your choices. And your choices can change the direction of your day. Then your days can begin to change the direction of your life. Not all at once. Not in one big moment. Little by little. Choice by choice. Step by step. Think about the person you want to become. Maybe you want to be someone who learns. Someone who takes care of their health. Someone who keeps trying. Someone who does not give up after one mistake. You do not need to become that person tomorrow. Make one choice today. Learn one thing. Take one walk. Try one more time. Come back once. That is how you begin. The person you want to become is not waiting at the end of a perfect road. That person grows through small choices. The choices you make on normal days. The choices you make on hard days. The choices you make when you do not feel like doing anything. These choices matter. So when the next hard day comes, remember this. You do not need to win the whole day. You do not need to do everything. You do not need to feel great. You only need to find one small good action. Then do it. If you can do more, do more. If you cannot, let the small action be enough. Then tomorrow, try again. This is a simple way to keep moving. Start when you do not feel ready. Make the action smaller when it feels too hard. Come back when you miss a day. And do what you can with the day you have. You will not always feel motivated. That is okay. You will not always feel strong. That is okay too. You will have bad days. You will make mistakes. You will stop sometimes. None of these things need to be the end. There is always another choice, another small action, another chance to return. Use it. Maybe not perfectly, maybe not quickly, but use it. Do not wait for every feeling to change. Do not wait for your life to become easy. Do not wait until you become another person. Begin as you are. Begin where you are. Begin with what you have. Then take one small step. You may not feel like doing it. Do it anyway. You may be tired. Make it smaller. Then do it anyway. You may have failed yesterday. Come back today and do it anyway. You may still feel afraid. Take one small step and do it anyway. Not because every day must be perfect. Not because you need to push yourself all the time. But because your next small action is still yours to choose. And sometimes, one small choice is enough to change the direction of your day. Then another choice can come tomorrow. And another after that. You do not need to see the whole road. You only need to take the next step. Thank you for spending this time with English Owl. Thank you for listening. Thank you for learning. And thank you for taking one more small step today. Keep learning. Keep trying. And when you do not feel like taking the next step, remember that the step can be small. Then take it anyway. See you in the next story.